Hi chaps, Simo P here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today I'm bringing you some gameplay of my Batchat on Prokhorovka because this is a very fun game. This is probably the game where this is my most highest damage game I've ever done. I've got close to doing this, but never quite surpassing where I end up. So being in a Batchat on a nice open map like this with loads of great locations to spot, I was already rubbing my hands together a little bit. So I'm going to be fairly active initially with my Batchat, but what you'll see is me going to an area on the map of F6. Now what I'll talk about is the equipment you can see on my Batchat first. So I use it as a active scout initially, then switch to passive scouting before I start looking to utilise my gun. The reason is you only get 30 rounds of ammunition, so you have to be very careful with what you're shooting at. I like to make sure I can be quite effective throughout the entire game, so I find binos for me allows me to do some passive scoutings while I get in a good location. I don't have to worry about my tank too much. Whereas if I'm doing active scouting, it can be a bit more riskier. I don't really like to risk taking shots in my Batchat, so I prefer to go for the bino option. So this location here on F6, this is very good for your sort of M46 patterns, M48 patterns, Centurions, OBJ140s, Batchats. Now there's a couple of reasons why. As you creep over the hill, you're able to spot all the way down the B line. So generally the way this battle is played, there's a push down the 1-2 line, people push to the middle, and people push the hill on the 9-0 line. From F6 you can get shots into the tank, the red team tanks, as they go up the hills on the 9-0 line. You can also get shots, as you see in here, on their tanks that are creeping over. Now you can push quite aggressively as well over the lip of the hill, get some spots in and pull back. Tanks opposite you on E5-6, when they push you actually have a rock on this position where you can hide behind if they push, where they can't get shots into you frontally, but you're able to still do this and get shots into the side of the tanks advancing up the hill. Now in this case they have a lot of tanks pushing up the side of the hill, so I'm rubbing my hands together, really excited, waiting for them to carry on pushing up just so I can fling shots into them. They've pushed really aggressively down that 9-0 line, which is a little bit unusual. You wouldn't expect to see it that aggressive with E75s and 103s, but because it's such an open map, they don't really have too many other places they can go. They could try creeping down the 1-2 line, but again it's open, so they're likely to be picked on by a vast number of TDs. So realistically we're going to lose the hill on the 9-0 line. We're holding nicely down the 1-2 line. We've got plenty of TDs down the 6-7 line sitting on our ridge on the train tracks, so I'm not overly concerned that they're going to push successfully. That they'll push, but we should be able to deal with it. I'm not spotted here, still get shots into the side of the M103. Bit tense hoping he doesn't move to get my first kill, and there's the first kill. So with the Batchat, when you're playing games like this, because there's such a good opportunity to get damage in, you really need to make sure you conserve your HP as much as possible. And the other side is, because you have such a low amount of ammunition, you need to be very picky with your targets. You can't just go shooting willy-nilly at anything. So there you saw me take out a track. I was on the last round of the clip. I knew if anyone else hit him, I'd still get damage. This Motherland is being ballsy. He is a cheeky chap. He's not fussed by a Batchat sniping every other heavy tank there. But as I was saying, I'm off on a tangent. You need to make sure your shots count. So you need to be aiming for the heaviest targets, or the targets that will do the most damage. So you saw me throwing shots into the M103, the T57 heavy. Ideally I'd like to finish off the Motherland, but someone else takes him out. It's not a worry of mine. Now at this point in the game we are 3 tanks behind them. We've got a lot of their heavies and higher tier tanks pinned down the 9-0 line. I've pushed down the 1-2 line. Hasn't really done what it should have done. So we've got 1 TD holding that, so we're really on the defensive. So we need to do a couple of things to grab the initiative back here. So in my head, I'm thinking the C75, he's down to the point I can probably take him out with a clip. So just to even up the odds, it's worthwhile me pushing over the top of the hill, down the side of the train. There's enough cover where I shouldn't take too much damage. T32 gets a shot in. We get another shot in, doesn't do too much to us. And we put one shot into the E75, take him out. Now, a couple of reasons why I want to do that. He can spot the rest of our team, so their guys on the 9-0 hill can just pile shots into the rest of our guys. What I need to do now is deal with that T10. I've only got one round left in the clip, but I'm pretty confident the other guys are going to get enough damage off him, even just a little bit, where that last shell is going to be enough to take him out. Again, taking him out, just means that guys on the hill have to push over this train line ridge to our left hand side. They can't just sit on the hill camping. So in the space of about 30 seconds, we've managed to even the game up. We've taken out a T10, E75, two of their better heavy tanks. They can no longer stay on the 9-0 hill and fire shots into our TDs on our ridge line down the 6-7 line. They've got to be aggressive and they've got to start pushing. So at this point in the game, as a Batchat player, you can either start to go around looking for tanks that are by themselves and just start obliterating them, or you can be a little bit patient. So our team is obviously very TD heavy at this point. There's no point me dying for, let's say, to go for this IS7, leaving the rest of the team without someone to scout. That heavy can't scout for us. I know we got some two TDs pushing aggressively, but the team still needs me to scout and spot targets for them so they can deal with them. If I die, they're going to lose that ability, which means they can be pushed. Artie can get them. We're doing quite well to keep them from getting in position to spot us. So ideally, I really don't want to have to go and deal with this IS7. It's a bit painful down the side. It's got spaced armor on the side. I've got to get round the back. If you're doing a circle of death on an IS7, that's one shot in the back before you're circling round already. So it could take a long time to empty the full clip into him, because you really can't risk shooting the side, and you can't risk taking the time to aim in fully, because they've still got the Ag Tiger over there. There's still another TD down that 1-2 line. So I decided it's better just to spot him up, let the TDs at the back deal with him. What I want to do is just spot these two Ds down the 1-2 line, which is the Ag Tiger and a Borsig, just so the rest of the team can pile shots in. I feel that'll be safer for me. Put a shot into the IS7, just look to put the last shot into him. We take him out for the fourth kill of the game. And I've got to decide, no, T95, sorry, not a Borsig, T95 and the Ag Tiger. So I've got to decide how I want to deal with these two TDs. I can't push them again. They're too closely bunched together. They'll do too much damage to me. I've not got a full clip. So what I want to do instead is just to spot them, let the RT and TD deal with them, and take out the most dangerous one. So I look to put a shot into the T95. I'm trying to bait the shot just to see if he'll push, stay, take the shot so I can throw shots into him. Or just to see if the Ag Tiger will get a little get a little excited and look to push over the... There's the Borsig. I knew there was a Borsig somewhere. So currently we've got a Borsig right in front of me. He's taken out my gun. I've got quite lucky there not to take more damage. We've got the T95. We've got the Ag Tiger. There's no point staying in the position I'm in. The Borsig can get flanking shots on me. T95 or Ag Tiger get frontal shots on me. So what I'm going to do is go to the next hill, dip below, try and drop the spot, repair my gun safely, and then just assess the situation and just decide, do I want to push on the T95 at the back, or do I again just want to light them up and just let our RT and TDs deal with them? Because theoretically we should have the view range on them. We've got the Ag Tiger there. He's in a fairly good position. I'm not guaranteed pens. I'm down to 13 shells, so I've got to be a little bit careful. We just fluffed the shot on the T95. Someone else has taken him out. Borsig's gone down. The Ag Tiger's cropping up. So our plan worked. Rather than just charging in, just lighting them up for the TDs along the back of the map has just wiped him out completely without risking much of my HP. We managed to get out of a very sticky situation, and we're alright, we're okay, we'll get through this. So push on the T95, sorry, the Ag Tiger, just to get my 5th kill of the game. I'm just waiting for that last shot. Now it's at this point I reload to a full clip, sorry. I've got 5 kills. I'm rubbing my hands together thinking I'm being cheeky. I need the 6th kill for the Topgun here. I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't walk away with the Topgun from this fight. So we have the TD to our right. He's sitting in a really good location, the ball. So anything that crops up, he's going to absolutely just bum it. He'll nail it to the ground. It'll be gone. So I need to try and figure out where their RT is and where their IS7 is. So I have two options for this final approach. I can approach on the right hand side of the rail tracks down the 7 line, or the left hand side down the 6 line. I decided to go down the 6 line because I suspect their RT is where he is, so I'm more likely to spot him. I don't need to worry about him. Put one shot in, bloody RT takes him out, or a TD potentially. Yeah, it's the Borsig, so that leaves me still on 5 kills. I've got an IS3. First shot takes the track out, doesn't do much damage. I've got 3 shells left. It is going to be a little bit of an ask to get my Topgun at this point. RT's hammering on him. I kind of hope he hits him. There we go, perfect. Just so I can get the last shot into him and take him out for the Topgun. I don't have to risk fluffing up 2 more shells. So overall, a really good game. We pulled it back where we were losing, held our ground, and just cancelled out their view range advantage and established our own, so our TDs could just dominate towards the end game. So we've walked away with 5,500 physical damage, 4,800 assisted damage. That is totaling up to, let me do some very quick maths now, just 10,500 damage, 10,500 damage. We've got our mastery on our mastery on our Batchat. We've got the Topgun, we've got the high caliber. Really good game. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope you're enjoying the channel. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time, chaps.